Hey, how y'all doing? So this video is going to be about the it factors of how you get a big guy over. And in an industry now that just kind of really turns all of the big guys into teddy bears. We see WWE, every big guy is wearing pink shoes and he's got a work wife and he's just a smiling goof all the time. And AEW and everywhere else, the big guys want to be luchadors. They're doing moonsaults, and there's some guys like that too in WWE. The thigh slapping ass Damian Priest. You have all of some of these guys that are just they're not tapping into the essence of what a big guy is or what a big guy is supposed to be. And so what is it about these four guys that I've posted on this placard here? When you look at them, and usually the big guy, is not a mark. What I mean by that is he wasn't really a wrestling fan growing up. So let's go through all the kind of legendary big guys. Most of them were football players. Ernie Ladd was a football player. Goldberg is a football player. I think Bradshaw played football. Other people played football, but Ultimate Warrior was a bodybuilder. So you also get like weightlifting. Mark Henry was a weightlifter. Batista was a weightlifter. Brock was an amateur wrestler, so he had an athletic background. So there is, Sid was, he had no athletic background. He wanted to be a pilot. He's from a farm. Brock was also from a farm. So these guys do not usually don't have a wrestling background, even though Brock, of course, is different. But they usually have some type of athletic background. And sometimes they don't even have that. Like Warrior didn't even have an athletic background at all. Bodybuilding, I don't think is. I don't know. Would you call bodybuilding a sport? Let me know in the comment section what you think bodybuilding is a sport. But they usually don't. They might have a background in sports, but usually they come across as being alpha males, even of their sport. They're intense, they're destructive, incredible feats of strength. They bring an intensity to their matches, to their presentations, that makes people believe, and believe from the beginning, from the moment the music strikes, that something bad is going to happen. That inspires both men and boys, and it may intimidate women, it may intimidate some people, but the intimidation of it is part of the entrance, or part of what makes the big guy work, is that you want to be like, oh shit, when the opening chords hit, you knew something bad was going to happen. I can give you examples of from each one of these guys, of when you hear that music, you're like, holy shit. The Ultimate Warrior, I mean, it speaks for itself. When you hear those opening riffs, man, you like, shit. And he come, shooting out down the entranceway, and pumping that fist and beating that chest and shaking the ropes. You're like, oh my god, it's undeniable energy. Like, it doesn't matter if his matches are gonna suck. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if his match is gonna be 2 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's gonna be 30 seconds. People did not care. People did not care. All that mattered was that they saw the Warrior come out there and destroy a guy. That's what they wanted to see. Sid, the same thing. Oh my god, I'll never forget. Oh shit. Digging in my memories. I never forget when Sid powerbombed Triple H. It was from, I believe, the Intercontinental Championship tournament in 1996, right after Ahmed Johnson had gotten injured. I remember this from when I was a kid. I did not do any research. And Sid powerbombed Triple H at some point in that tournament. I think they wrestled each other in the tournament, but he powerbombed him. And Triple H ended up on his stomach. So he powerbombed him and he flipped over onto his stomach. It was amazing. Okay, it was something where you was like, wow. you know, like, wow. It looked like it was destructive. I mean, we got history of Goldberg spears, or him just like cutting through giants, him stomping, people even bigger than he is. But you see Goldberg, he's coming out there, he's snorting, like the snorting. The Ultimate Warrior used to do that too. The big power snort. and you go up there and he just run over giants and run over guys who were smaller than him. He eat them alive, but giants he would destroy them too. Like you knew when that opening go that the moment that music hit for Goldberg, that even if you hated the man, you knew something bad was about to happen to somebody. And it was going to be fun, at least. And it wasn't even going to take that long. Like, you could complain. That's the thing about, how the big guy works. You could complain about, well, it should be a real match. It should be a real match. But you don't need it. Everything that you desire is going to happen. Or you could just say it's a buffet for a different type of person. Like some people might want your 30-minute Bret Hart classic, and I can respect that, and I'm a fan of those too. But ain't nothing can compare to a 300-pound man or a something like that mowing down somebody else in like 42 seconds. That's some boss shit. That's some alpha male masculine shit. Like I'm talking, what Ultimate Warrior did to the Honky Tonk Man. Like you can't beat that. Like you can't beat that. Like you can't beat Brock Lesnar just mauling John Cena or spinning Seth Rollins around in a circle and by his injured ribs, and then they're throwing him into the crowd. You can't beat that stuff, man. You can't beat Brock choking. Well, he technically didn't choke, quote unquote, the life out of Hulkamania. It was a bear hug, but you'll never forget that stuff. You'll never forget what Brock did to Zach Gowen, or but that's how, and Brock had to kind of get away from that because, he was a work rate guy at first. He would go in there and try to wrestle you to death with, along with Kurt Angle, because that was his background. His background was in amateur wrestling. But then they would have those moments where Brock would just snap and he would just do really, really bad shit to people. And you would be like, and that's the stuff that people will remember. They will remember when he, tried to destroy Zach Gowen, where he, and you will be like, oh, when he, tried to kill Rey Mysterio that time. It's like you remember this stuff because those are the moments that, that giants can bring. That's the it factor. That's the destructive nature, along with the presentation, along with everything. The simplicity is also another thing. Is that a big guy doesn't need to be complex. He doesn't need to have a expansive move set. Sid didn't have a lot of moves, dog. But Sid would get you prepared for bad stuff long before it happened. Like the music would start and he would come out, fist bumping, and then he would, I remember one time, I forget when it was, what event it was, he sniffed the air like, I smell a power bomb. And I was like, yes, I smell one too. Go powerbomb somebody. Like that's how you get over. I don't give a shit about you doing it. Like Vader is another one. Like Vader will go out there and he just maul people. Just beat the shit out of them. And that was the character. That's the gimmick. You go out there, you stare down somebody, or you be stared down, and they beat the shit out of you. You powerbomb them, run and clothesline them. F5 match doesn't need to be that long. Today, you've got so many thigh slapping, pink shoes wearing teddy bears, and even in WWE where they mastered this stuff, you have Keith Lee who wears pink shoes, who talks like a minister, which is really weird. He also but he has those he has those times where he gets pissed off and he reminds himself that he's a monster and he goes out there and he beats the shit out of somebody. That he kind of has to be triggered in that way. But that's kind of how he should be all the time. Is he should come out there and wreck you. He shouldn't be coming out there to do, high flying moves. It's not necessary. Damian Priest, why is he doing so many spin kicks? And this video was born out of the craziness that I saw at the Wardlow and Luchasaurus, how light they were working, how it looked like they were just playing patty cake. And it just looked like shit. It didn't look like two big guys colliding. It didn't look like, I'll never forget the first time I saw the Goldberg Batista match. It was from Raw or something like that. And it really was nothing, but it looked like two giants going at it. It just had that energy. Batista's another one. Batista was one of those guys, before it made him Hollywood Dave, he was one of those, guys that went out there that when that music struck, you were like, oh shit, bad things about to happen, dog. Especially when Batista turned heel. Uh, when is this? Survivor Series 2009 maybe, where he started feuding with Rey Mysterio, or it might have been 2008. It might have been 2008 when he turned heel, but it was crazy, dog. Like it was crazy, and people love that stuff. It's simple. It's all in the presentation. It's you let the crowd do the work because all you have to do is come in there, choke slam, tombstone, choke slam, power bomb, Vader bomb, do your gimmick, and you out. And no, people might talk shit about you and say you weren't a good wrestler, but so what? The point of this business is to draw money. That's the point of this business, and nobody is making any money with Giants right now because they're all smiling goose. Okay. Now, Braun Strowman is in a good position right now where he could just go out there and mow guys over, which he should be doing. They do the feats of strength thing like they used to do with Mark Henry, where Mark Henry's pulling trucks or stuff like that, bending bars or whatever, and that was cool. They used to always do that stuff off and on with Mark Henry, and then they put Mark Henry in the match, and it'd be too long, and he would probably lose. But when they decided to get it right, when Mark Henry was just going out there destroying people, that's when he got over, because it was believable. The world's strongest man with a bad attitude is going to go out there and hurt somebody. That's what we should be all looking at. If you're 6'6" for no reason, go play in the NBA. If you're going to be 6'6" in a meat castle like Brian Cage, why would you ever do a job for a woman? Why would you ever go out there and not look like you're going to wreck shop? And they're trying to do that a little bit with Karrion Kross in NXT, but they haven't quite gotten there yet because he hasn't done anything that's memorable yet. He's just kind of beating people in fast, and beating people quickly. You also need to have the explosiveness, and you need to have a moment that takes place where you be like, oh shit, I can't believe, like, there's something that only this guy can do. And there's so many of those moments where Brock and Goldberg, Goldberg just, when he jackhammered the Giant, like when he speared Nunzio in the Royal Rumble, like those things are memorable. Like I can remember, and maybe it's because I was a kid and it's nostalgia, but I don't see a lot of these big guys getting over the same way those guys got over, and I don't see them striking the stoking the imagination of young people the way that those guys did. Like children wanted to be like them. Children were their biggest fans because children like superheroic characters, even if the character is a heel. They can identify with that. They can identify with big, strong guys. And they don't care whether you can go out there and do a moonsault. They don't care if you can do a hurricanrana. They want to see you go out there and hit stuff, and then hit stuff again, and it breaks. That's what they want. They want, like the Incredible Hulk. Incredible Hulk doesn't have to be the most skilled superhero in the world. He goes out there, Hulk smash, and Hulk smashes. That's it. People believe Hulk smash. That's what they believe, and they understand when the Hulk comes, Hulk smash. And maybe you won't get, but usually these guys get paid more to go out there and Hulk smash than they would if they went out there and did 30 minutes in the middle of the card. Okay. You look at what skills you can bring to the table. And just because you can have a 30-minute match doesn't mean that you should. Maybe these guys need to do more work on trying to figure out how they can be effective, destructive, strong giants and not be teddy bears that are smiling all the time, that are doing weird things, like Luchasaurus is, like, the way he tweets and the way he talks. It's like, ugh, come on, man. Like, I don't see anybody wanting to be like Luchasaurus. Like, Wardlow at least tries, right? But Luchasaurus is like, he's trying to talk as he's an actual smart dinosaur, which is like, why? Like, what does the intelligent dinosaur, how does that draw money? And I don't know. I don't get that. At least with, on NXT, you have, Damian Priest was trying to be a conniving heel. an ambitious, conniving heel. He had a mission, so I like that. But I would have liked for Damian Priest to be dominant, just destructive, just, throwing people all over the place. He has the capacity to do that. Killian Dane is another one. I just don't see why you don't do it, you know? But that's just me. What do you guys think about the state of big guys in wrestling right now? Do you see any big guys that might be one day a Brock Lesnar or a Goldberg figure? Where, I know WWE tried with Ryback. Ryback was incompetent. It just didn't work. And then they put the Intercontinental Championship on him, that's the death nail. They make you the Intercontinental Champion unless you're gonna win both titles like Goldberg or Ultimate Warrior. When you become the mid-card champion as a giant, it's probably not a good idea. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this video, about my thoughts, and I'll talk to you guys later.